It's back to school time, which can mean hours and hours of parents making lunches for their kids. Well, not this year. We're going to talk about some tips and tricks that will help free up your time as a parent and empower your kids to make their own lunches. Hey, welcome to the pantry. It's back to school time, August and September. One of my favorite times of the year for a number of reasons. But one thing I started employing with my kids over the last few years is empowering them to make their own lunches. And this has freed up my time immensely in the morning. So we're going to talk about some benefits of having your kids put their own lunch together, and then of course some tips and tricks on how to give them the resources they need to put their lunches together. Every family situation is different, and you need to look at your own kids and their own maturity level to see if they're ready to tackle their own lunches. But even as young as 6 or 7 could be a good time to test the waters with them. And if after a few days of allowing them to build their own lunch and things are not going as successful as you had hoped, perhaps it's not the right time for them. That's your decision as a parent to make. But there are children as young as 5, 6, and 7-year-olds who can put together their own lunch, and there are some guidelines that you can use to ensure that that happens. There are a lot of benefits that kids will experience when being empowered to put their own lunch together. The first one being is that they are in fact being empowered, and giving them that responsibility does a lot of things for your children. Your kids are looking for opportunities to be treated like grown-ups, and packing their own lunch, just like perhaps you would pack your own lunch for work, is one way that we can do that. Benefit number 2, developing good habits. And you're never too young to start developing good lifestyle habits. I did a blog post on developing good habits that you can check out here, and you can start developing those habits with your kids regardless of what age they are, and making their lunch is one easy way that they can do that. Benefit number 3, independence. So like empowerment, we're allowing our children to choose their own items to put in their lunch bag. We're going to provide them with some guidance, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. But they're still allowed to choose what goes into their lunch. And that gives them, again, a sense of independence, of empowerment, and that grown-up sense that we're trying to instill in them. Benefit number 4, and most important for me, is less waste. When children put the items into their lunch bag, they're less inclined to throw them out when they get to school and decide that they don't want to eat it. So either less waste in the garbage cans at your school, or even less waste when they come home with soggy bananas in their lunch bag that have to be thrown in your own garbage. So now that we've looked at the benefits of empowering our children to pack their own lunch, how do we set them up for success? And here are some tips that will help set them up for a nutritious lunch, and of course the end goal, making sure that they're doing it and it's not falling back on you as the parent. Tip number 1, post a lunch packing list. It can be as easy as a notepad on your fridge, on your bulletin board. Some of you may have those chalkboard signs in your kitchen where you can put a little bullet list of all the elements that need to go into your child's lunch kit. Tip number 2, the healthy snack bucket. That is a staple in our house, where we have a bucket set aside in the pantry with all the pantry goods that are healthy and deemed lunch worthy. So that's where you can put your granola bars, your applesauce packages. I even pre-package pretzel sticks because my kids like the pretzel sticks. So they go, I'll go into the healthy snack bucket, and then they refer to their packing list and see that they can have one item from the healthy snack bucket, and they're free to choose which item that would be. Tip number 3, pre-wrap your refrigerated items. On Sunday night or Monday morning, you may decide to chop up a whole bunch of carrot sticks, celery sticks, and pre-package them for the entire week. So you're still involved in making sure your kids' lunches stay nutritious, but now you're hands off from Tuesday to Friday because all the packaging has been done and stored properly in the fridge on Sunday night. Tip number 4, training sessions with mom and dad. This is where you can spend time with your kids, teaching them how to make those harder items like sandwiches. Sandwiches can be very easy to assemble, especially if they're making a pita pocket where they just need to stuff deli meat and cheese and lettuce inside of a small pocket. But even arming them with something as simple as a plastic knife to make some of the harder sandwiches and cut them in half, they can use that knife without endangering themselves or the family dog. And again, you're now not responsible for making the sandwiches. So setting up your kids for lunch packing success not only empowers them to be contributing members of your household, but now frees up your time as a parent and as a work-at-home professional to tackle the projects that are important to your family. For more tips and tricks on how to increase your productivity and increase your time management, jump on over to productivitypantry.com and sign up for my newsletter. Good luck with these tips. Have a great back to school season, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.